The Battle of Brandy Station, the race for Fleetwood Hill. Here, the old Carolina Road crosses the southern part of Fleetwood Hill, some of the highest ground in this area. On the slope ahead of us, Major General James Ewell Brown Stewart, Jeb Stewart, commander of Robert E. Lee's cavalry, pitched his headquarter tents on the evening of June 8, 1863. Nearby stood the Henry Miller House, known as Fleetwood. The Confederates used the name the Battle of Fleetwood Hill for the conflict now known as the Battle of Brandy Station. Stewart was surprised when word came of a Federal attack on his outpost at Beverly Ford at first light on June 9th. He sent his headquarter wagons off to Culpeper Courthouse and responded swiftly to Brigadier General John Buford's Union challenge. The strong line Stewart established near St. James Church began pushing back the Federals by late morning. But a second surprise and near disaster arrived about 11 a.m. Another Union division, 2,200 men under Brigadier General David M. Gregg, had crossed the river at Kelly's Ford with minimal opposition and appeared in Stewart's rear. A quick-thinking Confederate staff officer opened fire with a solitary cannon from the crest of Fleetwood Hill on the Federal troops exiting the village of Brandy Station. Meanwhile, couriers dashed off to Stewart, then a mile away near St. James Church. Stewart acted decisively. Pulling his regiments from the St. James Church area, he sent them galloping for Fleetwood Hill. It was a race for the high ground, but Stewart's men reached the grassy crest before Gregg's. Pouring down the other side, the Confederates hit Colonel Percy Wyndham's Union Cavalry Brigade hard, blunting the first Federal attack. After Wyndham's assault, Colonel Judson Kilpatrick's Federal Brigade crossed the Orange and Alexandria Railroad and stormed Fleetwood Hill from the southeast. The fight for Fleetwood Hill, a classic cavalry battle fought on horseback, became a lethal game of King of the Hill. Sabers clanged against sabers. Cannons boomed. Pistols rang out. And the choking dust made it difficult to tell other from which, one Confederate recalled. The hill changed hands several times as the battle devolved into a giant swirling melee. Men from New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Maryland, and Maine struggled against Virginians, Georgians, Carolinians, and Mississippians. By late afternoon, the Federals had used all their reserves. Though Brigadier General John Buford continued to press back the Confederates on northern Fleetwood Hill, the southern slopes were held by exhausted but triumphant Southerners. After Colonel Thomas Munford's fresh Confederate brigade arrived on Buford's flank and rear, the Union commander, Brigadier General Alfred Pleasonton, saw further effort was fruitless and ordered his subordinates to pull back across the Rappahannock River. In nearly 14 hours of fighting, Confederate Major General Jeb Stewart lost about 500 men, killed, wounded, or captured, from his total force of 9,700 soldiers. Union General Pleasonton lost some 900 of the 11,000 men under his command. This may seem like small numbers compared to the terrible toll paid at Gettysburg 3 weeks later, yet veterans remembered Brandy Station with pride as the largest and most hotly contested clash of sabers in this long and bloody war. Union cavalrymen and historians remember June 9th as the day Federal horsemen snatched the mantle of unquestioned superiority from their Confederate opponents. Most important, Robert E. Lee's infantry, poised to set out on their march north toward Gettysburg, remained undiscovered by the Federals. So in other words, General Lee could make it into Gettysburg safely because of this battle right here at Brandy Station. It kind of concealed his troop movements with this battle going on. So we're here at Brandy Station this morning, and to recap this just a little bit, that's Fleetwood up there, that old mansion that was there during the war. That's the high ground of this entire area. Right over here behind us, across these fields of battle were cavalrymen on their horses and sabers, dueled it out. Right over there, Angie can zoom up in on that steeple, is the St. James Church that was told about in the story. And this small little field in the middle of nowhere, Virginia almost, but really we're not very far from Fredericksburg, but this is the Battle of Brandy Station, and you were there.